Hello again, everyone. Saki here, and welcome back to Let's Learn Japan in Victoria 3. We're running a little bit of a deficit on our bureaucracy here, it looks like. Okay, so, extra trade routes are 5. Yeah, we are going to need some extra bureaucracy for sure. So that will be our government administration buildings, I assume. And yeah, we need taxation capacity anyway. We're building up steel mills because we were trying to get some railroads down. Looking at our technology, we are looking at improved fertilizer, which will help all of our farms out, and working on property to women at a 20% chance of 1 in 5. We got to roll that natural 20 to get that done. So let's settle in here, get this steel mill built, and see where we end up. So looking at Pops and their standard of living, it looks like liquor is really expensive, and that is 11% of their expenditures. I like the fact that they are paying a reduced price for clothing. That should help out tremendously, but it looks like liquor might be the next thing. If somehow the railroads can contribute to more liquor distribution, that would be awesome. Looking at liquor here, we're running 169 in the hole. And looking where that comes from, only our subsistence farms and orchards are producing that. So we need actual liquor production, it seems. And that's going to be produced in our food industry and our rye farms. Now that is extra grain, and we can probably focus that to show liquor as well. So our food industries, we're looking at, a lot of good profit there. Where are our food industries as of now? So we just have 2 in Kansai, and I don't think they are producing. So they're prioritizing grocery production. We'll stand to lose a lot of money if we swap over to stills. So perhaps a food industry in another province, perhaps in Chugoku. If we focus solely on liquor production over there and focus on food production in Kansai, that might be okay. 9 weeks until these steel mills are complete, and then we will see where we can go from there. And at the end of the last episode, we swapped to agrarian economy, and that allowed us to open up the investment pool for production or the purchase price of more farms, and we don't have any rye farms in Japan at all. So we could do like a 1-2 punch, getting rid of some subsistence farms by opening up some rye farms, as well as using some of this investment pool to get it done as well, would be pretty awesome indeed. That would allow us to, holy crap, that graph has gone haywire. That will allow us to not eat into our profits for construction, I don't believe. And unfortunately, the Buddhist monks and the shogunate have joined to preserve the legal guardianship, and I don't know if we can try to get a roll done before this revolution kicks off. Otherwise, we're going to have to stop that. The vote is going to be on the 11th of July, 1 month away. I believe we have enough time to see if we can get it done just and by the skin of our teeth here if we roll that natural 20. Otherwise, we'll have to back off of property women because I'm not up for a revolt, especially since we are on the path to our honorable restoration. We're not going to shoot that in the foot. So let's get to, so 7 weeks until the revolution kicks off, and we are a few weeks, perhaps 2 weeks away from the vote of property women. If we can get lucky here, that would be awesome. Meanwhile, steel mills should be hiring up quick, fast, and in a hurry, lowering the overall cost of steel, and they should be making a tidy profit. All right, so let us see. Are we going to get lucky with this enactment chance, 50% to the revolution? Otherwise, we are just going to have to stop it here. 1 week away. Oh, lucky, lucky, lucky. We have property to women workforce ratio, and that is done. So what will that do to the revolution? Is it going to continue to click up, I wonder, because we've passed it. Very high radicalism. So revolution progression speed is -0 per week. The radicalism is at 63 from angry interest groups and supporting radicals. But since we're not trying to pass that law anymore, will this simmer down? I wonder. That is a good question. But next up, in order to get that liquor production done, let us put in, I would say we put in a rye farm, but there is literally nowhere in Japan that we can put a rye farm. So food industry in Chugoku should be okay. Of course, Kansai would be awesome. Chubu, it looks like we could do some work as well. So let's try to put in another food production in Chubu. And what we'll do is we will tell Chubu to produce the liquor. And looking at this tick, does the revolution go up? Just barely at 64%. So I think what we need to do is we need to sort of find something that the Buddhist monks and the shogunate would like, but not actively like shoot ourselves in the foot. If we look at laws that they want to put back legal guardianship, of course, and they want the state religion, so that isn't going to work. Shogunate just wants that legal guardianship, and they're not in government. Okay, so we need to try to find a law that perhaps lowers that radicalism, or give them some better standard of living, because a lot of radicals have came into being from decreases of standard of living. All right, so we need to get a lot of good stuff up in here. I kind of wish these generals would retire. We have 2 shogunate generals still alive at 72 years old and 68 years old. That would lower their clout enough so that the shogunate aren't so powerful, and this group might not be so bad. We also need to lower their angry level. That is for sure. Perhaps through time, that will lower, especially if we don't try to pass any laws that upset them even more, because if we did that, that would be a shot in the foot for sure. Yeah, I think for now we just sort of chill with the laws. Hopefully their anger goes down a bit, especially if we can provide them with liquor and whatnot. And then that way they might not revolt. They'll just drink themselves into happiness. And the next election is coming up, and that is going to be interesting to see that if property women can vote, we can see exactly if the women vote, we'll change that. We'll go whistle stop tour. So momentum to the agrarian party, or 20% and extra, ooh yeah. Our railroads must run on time. Hopefully that can get more goods to market and help with the standard of living as well. Yeah, I'm hoping this improved fertilizer allows more food to be produced and raises that standard of living for folks. Try to get them better off. Looking at population, our lower strata is still impoverished. They're paying 1% more. Liquor is huge, so if we can get improved fertilizers in, and then use some of that grain to produce more liquor, that would be awesome. But 13 weeks away from this food industry, and they are going to be doing probably the patent stills. We're going to want canneries and the baking powder as well once they get stood up. Liquor is going to be a big thing that we need to lower the cost of. Aha! So 62 weeks perhaps to restore legal guardianship at revolution ticks down. That would be awesome. Yeah, we're not going to be stepping on any toes for the time being on the Buddhist monks and the shogunate. Let's let them chill a bit. And in the next election, we will see what happens here in 50 days. Yeah, I'd like some extra bureaucracy. We're losing 6% due to tax waste. Not terrible since we're still making money here, but I'd rather not do that. So 2 weeks away from the election. Revolution ticking down, that's what I like to see. Bread, butter, ballot, what do you say? High price of groceries, humbug. In my use, we would make do with even less than what you have now for double the labor. So momentum from the agrarian party, or extra government expenses. Fund the soup kitchens, a man with a full belly makes fewer mistakes. I do like the sound of that. Looking at the momentum for the agrarian party, 62%. I wonder if that would then flip to give more momentum to the Constitutional Reform Party. We do have the extra money. Yeah, we'll fund soup kitchens. That's fine. I wonder how long that will last, however, if that is a additional expenses, alms for the needy. Yeah, we'll just see how that works out. We'll be getting more food here shortly. And election coming up. We'll see what happens in the grand scheme of the government. And if we can... All right, so 90% the Agrarian Party, 9.6 for the Constitutional Reform. And the Samurai wants to join the Constitutional Reform Party. The Bourgeoisie want to join the Agrarian Party. So if we were to do that, let's say, we could confirm that, and that increases our legitimacy up by 12%. I mean, that's not bad, I don't think. We would have access to the bourgeoisie's laws that they want to pass. As long as it's not the monks or the shogunate, I would be happy with that. Let's do that reform. Get some legitimacy up here. And welcome to the Constitutional Reform Party. And food industry ready to go. They're gonna need iron, glass, sugar, which there is plenty of, grain, and fish to produce the liquor and whatnot. So let's get to hiring, guys. There we go. So liquor is being produced. Hopefully they can get a lot more than that. Getting their goods in. It'll be interesting to see if we need to put in another grain farm, which would come from our investment pool, which would be awesome. So with the cost of sugar going up, I would assume that would make the sugar farms more profitable as well, as this industry in Chubu would be buying up a lot of sugar to produce that liquor and groceries. Nice. Food industry fully employed. They're making 100 liquor, bringing that cost down. Groceries, the cost of groceries is going down as well, which should improve standard of living quite a bit. What are we sitting on now that is really expensive here? So we're running a little bit of a shortage on liquor and groceries as well. So I think what we do is we boost up that food industry one more time while we're here to sort of bring that right down, and perhaps we'll get a better idea of what extra farms we need. Yeah, and this sucks quite a bit. I believe our honorable restoration is paused because we do have insurrectionary interest groups. So 40 weeks until that goes away. Hopefully that this doesn't stall. And central banking is unlocked for more minting and loan interest rate. That's not what we were researching. We are 12 weeks away from our improved fertilizer, so we got some bleed. That is good. But even better, improved fertilizer unlocked for rye farms, wheat farms, rice farms, maize farms, all the good stuff. All right, so let's look at our rural farms. So rice farms can go up to fertilizers, produce more grain and use fertilizer, and holy crap, that pegs the fertilizer price like crazy. We get a lot more grain, that is for sure. Do we need the extra grain? How much grain do we need? We're actually running a lot of excess. So I don't know if we need to turn that on just yet. I mean, it says we're gonna make a whole lot of money, and cheap grain would help everyone, I think. We'll just have to work on more fertilizer production, I feel. Plus, our new food industry is going to be needing a lot of grain as well. And now the rotary valve engine is spreading to us. It's over halfway there. Let's do 5 to 9 months on that rotary valve engine, get more tooling workshops, all that stuff. Hopefully that will be productive. If we look at the buildings themselves and we go to our tooling workshops, what does the rotary engine do for us? Yeah, so it just uses more coal, but it opens up some of the laborers, and I'm not really all about that. The steam donkey, though, will the steam donkey help in our coal production? But dynamite, however, I believe dynamite would have a good positive impact for the actual production here. Swapping to dynamite would get more coal out of it using more explosives. And, you know, with our fertilizer chemical plants, that would be okay. So I will actually swap to dynamite and see if we can get that 3 years from now. And that's why I like to see a lot of radical reduction from increases of standard of living. And a lot of people really like that. That's what I like to see. Still impoverished, but their standard of living has gone up. And yeah, liquor is still pretty expensive, but we have that food industry coming up in 13 weeks that's going to produce even more liquor, which should increase their standard of living even more. And hopefully some of these radicals are part of the Buddhist monks and the shogunate, and they won't be just so radical. A donation of knowledge, you say, in Kanto. Shichiro Uryu, who is part of the shogunate, offered to spend some of their wealth to fund the creation of a university in Kanto. This will give the industrialists some influence. Yeah, I think that is actually a wonderful idea. Outstanding. So the university in Kanto is now employing here secular academia or extra clergymen. Okay, we lose some money there. The philosophy department and the analytical philosophy department were using some paper, which the paper looks to be a little bit lower than base price, so that is fine. We were ready for that, for extra urbanization, innovation, and extra qualifications. That's what I like to say. Plus, employment is always good. Food industry now open. Let's double up our production, see where we sit in the grand scheme of things as far as these prices are concerned. If wheat starts getting, or grain starts getting pretty high, we can use that investment pool to get more agriculture up, would be awesome. But ideally, I just want the price of groceries and liquor to go down and increase that standard of living. Nice. The political movement's disbanded legal guardianship, so the shogunate and the monks have taken their ball and gone home. In 4 weeks' time, we will have no revolution in our country anymore, and we can start reworking on that honorable restoration as grocery prices, yes, get down to good levels, as well as the liquor. Coincidentally, the price of iron has gone up. The price of sugar has gone up, hopefully helping out the sugar plantations. This may be one of those things that we have to build up a new rice farm, for example, to get that price of sugar back down. And we have 5 in Kansai. Now they are using fertilizer first. So perhaps a chemical plant or a livestock ranch. Ranches come out of our investment pool. All right, so a livestock ranch, where are those? Aha, livestock ranches, 2 in Chubu, 2 in Kansai. Tell you what, we will expand. That's going to use up more tools and grain, but give us a little bit more fertilizer. It would be better, I think, to build like a big old chemical plant. But if this comes out of the investment pool, that is awesome. Yes, indeed. So 3.75 coming out of the investment pool. To empty this thing, we got to do a lot of buildings, that is for sure. But one thing I am happy about is it doesn't look like it's taking from our balance. It is taking from the investment pool. So we're building for free. Yeah, and there we go. Honorable restoration is now continuing to tick back up, which is good. It set us back just a little bit. We had it timed where the restoration would kick off after this last election here. The pious fiction is deactivated, so education access is a little better. However, we're still running that little bit of deficit with that little bit of tax waste in the bureaucracy. Go ahead and stand up their livestock ranch. We'll see what this does to the price of fertilizer, hopefully making it cheaper. If not, we'll have to actually put in another chemical plant. So we will watch and see. So fully staffed, we got the price of fabric okay, and the price of meat has gone down, but real no impact to the price of fertilizer itself. So I'm thinking another chemical plant would do the deal. And it looks like we can do improved fertilizers. We would use a ton more iron but get a lot more fertilizer. So do we focus on iron mines? Possibly. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's swap over and then get into our iron mines and get the next level up in Kanto, please. And we can produce more iron with the condensing engine pump. That is awesome. Yeah, just changing that over. Dynamite would be huge as well. And then it comes back to our old friend, the coal mines and the tooling workshops that we need to improve. But this should lower the price of iron right down, I hope. So migration allows pops to move in between states of the same market. Right now, if you're in Kanto, you're stuck in Kanto if you're Japanese, but with migration controls, we have very few discriminated pops, and there's a 24% chance to pass, and only the peasants don't like it, and they won't be radical, but the trade unions, bourgeoisie, and industrialists all like this, more chance for workers. Let's try to get migration controls passed, and yeah, it should be okay. What is our legitimacy sitting at here? 49%. In the next election, it might be interesting to see if the trade unions will join. But as far as that law is concerned, not stepping on really any toes, I think we can get that done. And that will help our workforce move up to, say, Japanese Hokkaido, where right now there are 8,000 peasants but only 2 unemployed. If we were to open up some factories and whatnot up here, people, the Japanese could then move up to Sapporo, for example, and I think that would open up a lot of doors. So once again, transportation price is spiked, and we do have that investment pool for infrastructure. So additional railroads might be okay here. If we look at our railway, engines, coal, and wood are okay as far as their price is concerned. We could probably do with more coal, but I believe we could expand the railway in Kansai after this, and then that would allow our transportation price to go down, and we would use the investment pool instead, which would be nice for sure. The one bad thing about migration controls, we have a higher % chance that it stalls thanks to the powerful peasants. I mean, it's decent to do a success or a debate. I mean, it's pretty all even Steven, so really, who knows what's going to happen on the 12th of October. So we've got about 10 months for that, and 3 weeks until our new iron mine. It's me or them, eh? So Tomonosuke Nabeshima, leader of the intelligentsia, has had enough of compromising. He has demanded the intelligentsia. All right, intelligentsia will be leading force. I do like that. Ridiculous things to say. Oh no, intelligentsia will be a leading force. Leaders supported. Some interest group appeal goes down. We'll see what that does. Nice. New iron mine is open, and we are working on the railways. So let's see. Yes, indeed, 3,000 per week from the investment pool. That's going to take forever to drain that. To be fair, we're going to make a lot of gold reserves. That is for sure. So let's see if we can bring down the cost of that iron quite a bit. And 33 weeks away from the railway. So hopefully the extra iron will make engines cheaper. Coal might be the next thing that we work on after this. I'm guessing what we can do is improve the intelligentsia and bourgeoisie approval. We'll boost government wages up, since we can. Military wages, we actually might be able to increase as well. And if we go to no taxes, that is really high legitimacy. Lower land tax and higher conscription rate. But we would lose 16,000 more, eh? Well, I like the legitimacy, as right now we're running 49%. Oh, there is our rotary valve engine for furniture, tools, paper mills, steel, the whole kit and caboodle. So let's see what buildings here we can improve now. So the rotary valve engine, yes indeed, uses more tools than coal to reduce labor costs. Yeah, that's why we weren't actively researching that. We were researching dynamite. So we got it and really can't use it. You know what? We have the gold reserves. Let's just do that. Cut taxes down to the minimum. And then that will allow our legitimacy up to 55. Hopefully that'll increase standard of living as well, as people will have more money to pay for stuff, which is all good. And we have 5.82 million in reserve that we can do. And that is, you know, saving money from our investment pool as well. All right, railway open, come one, come all. We'll see if this reduces the price of transportation and what that does to coal. We might need to open up another coal mine here, or perhaps another engine factory, but I'm thinking coal, as it is more prevalent in other areas, that is for sure. Foreign competition for our migration controls. People living in Kanto under dire conditions are afraid the migration controls reform will increase competition in the job market. Oh, geez. If they can't compete, no, Japanese job seekers should be prioritized. It's only a -10. Oh man, that's gonna suck. It's gonna be tough to get this through. One more coal mine in Kyushu, 24 weeks away. That's gonna drive up the cost of tools as well. So we can pretty much know that our tooling workshop is going to be following that up. Another tooling workshop in Kansai after that. And I wish there was a timer on this honorable restoration. We're almost there. We have just a little bit to go. When is the next election, by the by? 1874, so 2 years. So if the honorable restoration kicks off in less than 2 years, we'll see what happens to the shogunate, as this honorable restoration may remove them, as they're not powerful or part of the government. So we'll see what happens there. Inefficient agriculture, you say. Industrialists have complained that Ryukyu, oh, those little islands, if we follow their advice, more migration, but they become more strata or industrialist group approval. And right now the industrialists are sitting at 19. So even if they go down by 1, it's not going to change anything. We didn't have to worry about losing anything in the grand scheme of things. So the shogunate leader Hayashi has died. That might mean awesomeness for the overall clout. So leader of the shogunate is now Hidetatsu Igawa, a reformer. Expensive taste, more prestige but tax waste. He's an opium addict. Reformer. Okay. He strongly opposes national supremacy. He endorses cultural exclusion, neutral towards multiculturalism. He's neutral towards legal guardianship, women in the workplace, and women's suffrage, and he endorses propertied women. That's actually pretty huge. If we can't get this migration control passed, I wonder, yeah, let's cancel that and see if we can do something about suffrage here. Why not? We can always end it since we had that backfire. Oh, a devout scandal, eh? What is this? The Buddhist monks have been having a secret affair? Yeah, the people must know of his depravity. All right, always deactivated. Okay, noble privileges activated. Yeah, that's lowered the shogunate's tax contribution, that is for sure. Fieldworks unlocked for more army defense. That's, I mean, good. We're not really using the military. So I think we can float this for quite some time. We have 5.73 million in gold reserves, while the shogunate are upset. But we'll take a look and see. So a 41% chance of debate, that's pretty good. 23% chance of advance and a 1 out of 5 chance in enacting it, basically. And I am glad we are on low taxes, since the radicals might come through the woodwork for sure. I'm just still seeing the Buddhist monks wanting religious schools, and that isn't doing oh so much. But we're so close to this restoration, this might have to be put on pause until that restoration happens, especially if the shogunate are removed. We'll just have to take a look-see. I'm just saying, 76 years old and 71-year-old shogunate general. Sure would be nice if you guys retired. All right, improving relations with the United States, done. Now, is there something we can, oh crap, United States moving in on Mexico pretty heavy. Could we go diplomacy? They're cooperative. Can we improve relations with, yes indeed, the Hudson Bay Company, why not? Meanwhile, coal mines have been built. They are in a hiring spree. That's going to drive up the cost of tools quite a bit, but that is the next thing we are working on, 33 weeks for that. Hopefully this does something to the price of coal in the grand scheme of things. There we go. There's the price of coal coming right down. Since plantations are a big thing and tobacco is 12% higher for our lower strata, I think the next building that we are going to do would be a tobacco plantation. We have 15 of them scattered all around the shop. So perhaps Kansai, of course. We'll put in a tobacco plantation following the tooling workshop here. Honorable restoration successfully completed. Outstanding. So we have the Meiji Restoration and raising concerns. So, Meiji Restoration. The shogunate has fallen from power, and Shogun Meiji has restored the political primary of the monarchy. The momentous occasion marks the end of the Japanese shogunate, and take a look at that. We are now the land of the rising sun. Industrialists will see us through, or look to the intellectuals. I like intellectuals. Extra political strength. The Japanese capital moves to Kanto. Industrialized Japan. Yep. Oh, we look to the intellectuals, please. Oh, and then of course the shogunate general has kicked the bucket. Okay, so raising concerns. The samurai have expressed. Yeah, so less political strength and approval. Sure, we can't appease everyone. All right, restoration in Sakoku added to the journal. Retire the samurai added to the journal. Industrialize Japan added to the journal. All right, what are we doing? Meiji Restoration. Complete 3 restoration journal entries. So first, industrialize Japan. More than 70% of all states has an urban center equal to 5 and has a railroad. Holy crap. Retire the samurai. Samurai are not part of the government. All Japanese buildings is not barracks, has not, okay, so let's see. All Japanese buildings, 108 out of 116 fulfill this requirement that are not barracks, not irregular infantry, not infantry focused, not cannon. And Sakoku does not have closed borders enacted. So that will be the end of isolationism. That looks to be the easiest one that we can do, followed by the retire the samurai. On the next vote, we'll see if we can remove the samurai from government. Speaking of which, yes indeed. So the landowners are being suppressed. So shogunate has become landowners. So we will stop suppressing them and get some of our authority back because they are not the shogunate, as it were. And Meiji Yamato has taken over, an industrialist, charismatic and innovative with an heir apparent, Taisho Yamato, 75% legitimacy. That is what I like to see for sure. Yeah, so the samurai themselves will have to be removed from the Constitutional Reform Party on the next election in 1874. But in October 1873, we have a chance to enact universal suffrage. A 1 in 5. But take a look at that. We are now red with Edo, our capital, and the rising sun, unrecognized power. But it's interesting to see these names in red. I was so used to them being in blue, I'm thinking that something went terribly wrong here. But so far, so good. Imperial Rule Party founded. What does that look like in the election? So 43%. The interest groups in the Imperial Rule Party are the Buddhist monks, and that is huge. Constitutional Reform Party, Intelligentista, and Samurai. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the Agrarian Party, that is for sure. Yeah, 167 days for the election. And next month for universal suffrage. If we can get this passed, that will flip this election right on its head, I believe. That would be insane. All right, almost there. Let's see if we get universal suffrage. This is going to be huge. Nope, but we do have an event, the Follies of Youth. All right, the voting age of 25 should assure responsible adults. So faster enactment time, but academic and servicemen get radical. 21 is a good compromise, increases enactment time. Or we really, okay. So either way, so 25 or 18, both lower enactment time by 20%. It's just, do we want extra political movement radicalism, which would really increase the landowners' radicalism, or the academics and servicemen? Yeah, we'll do that and see. We luckily didn't take a hit on the success chance, but we'll have an election and then get through the universal suffrage, I believe. All right, tooling workshop coming in. The most productive tooling shop in the world. Okay, and then the 25th most productive building in the world. That is crazy sauce. But yes, indeed, let's get some folks hired in. We're spending 11 weeks building up those tobacco plantations, and hopefully the price of tools will start to come down a bit. In recognition of accomplishment, industrialists deserve the credit. Workers should be recognized. Let's do industrialists deserve all of the credit. That is awesome in Shigako. Private military academies. Extra offense and defense. Now, Samurai loses, it must be shut down before this political faction gets dangerous. Extra group disapproval of the Samurai, as we're going to try to get them out of there in the next election anyway, for our Meiji Restoration, which will be to end or retire the Samurai, and then build, I guess, 8 more buildings that are not barracks. So that is awesome indeed. So nice. Plantations, we're actually making money because the investment pool is paying for that tobacco plantation to stand up. That's what I like to see. Keep us even Steven, as it were, for the 6 weeks while it is being built. And really all that comes out of that are wages. So yeah, just some extra money as long as the tobacco is profitable. Now if we invent pump jacks, we can get more tobacco out. And does pump jacks, yeah, irrigation for coffee, cotton, dye, opium, tea, tobacco, sugar, banana, and silk. So a pump jack might not be too bad, but there are the pump jacks. We need the steam donkey, and is that or dynamite or and dynamite, I wonder? Which way the wind blows. A published article is debated where Japan's future lies after the end of Sakako. Japan must leave Asia behind. We will stand with our neighboring nations. Or the future is uncertain. We must be prepared for anything. We have plenty of diplomatic flexibility. So Qing and Joseon goes down by 20. French, Britain, and Russian. But we've already worked quite a bit on those relations. Will that mean that those relations go above the 50? As we're working hard, the future is uncertain. Yeah, let's be prepared for anything here as we are actively working to improve relations with everyone. I'm sure the French and the British would have been nice. Postal savings, max cash reserves. That's what I like to see, sure. All right, where are you getting your clout from? The monarchy, the lieutenant general, and the leader trait. Yeah, if we could get rid of the monarchy, that would be awesome. But could you imagine the upheaval that would be? 26 days until the next election. We'll see what the government looks like, and can we remove the samurai from the government. One thing I would like to see, we're at 108. If we build another railroad in Kansai, does that count for our overall? We will see. And in 18 days, the next election happens. Election coming. This is going to be interesting indeed. All right. The Imperial Rule Party at 52%. Agrarian Party at 32%. Constitutional Reform at 15%. What does our government look like? So the landowners want to join the Agrarian Party. Of course they do. If we were to reform the government and remove, we would have to remove the intelligentsia as well. So is that one of those things where we have to upset the samurai into leaving the government? Yeah, so here's the kicker. If we want to get rid of the samurai, we also have to get rid of the intelligentsia. The intelligentsia are the only reason we have universal suffrage available. So we can't do that right now. If we were to, say, remove the industrialists, what would that do? It would increase our legitimacy up by 10. And then we just have a two-party system. So for now, I think we... why can't we confirm? Landowners want to join the Agrarian Party. Because of course they do. That would give them a lot of power. And if we did that, we would be really, really legitimate. But then all of a sudden that would undermine our efforts a bit. All right, so we will roll with what we've got as far as the 54% legitimacy. I really don't like, I would like to remove industrialists if that would improve our legitimacy up, but since the landowners want to join, we would have to do that in order to get our government reformed, and that would really, I think, really kick the enactment chance of universal suffrage right down. But we're 7 weeks away from dynamite. We will end this episode by putting in the dynamite and seeing where we end up with the productions. I'm thinking that it would actually be pretty good if we go to, say, the iron mines and do dynamite. We use more explosives, but we get more iron out of it. Lead? Yep, same thing. We would really drive up the cost of explosives by doing that. But we get a whole lot more out of everything, which is pretty awesome. Nice, there is our dynamite for chemical plants. Ooh, okay, we have quite a bit that we can look at here. So chemical plants uses less fertilizer but more explosives. Or no, it produces less fertilizer but produces a lot more explosives, but drives the cost of sulfur right up. So if we do that, and we give the coal mines dynamite, the iron mine dynamite, the lead mines dynamite, the sulfur mines dynamite, yeah, let's see what happens there. So 9 to 16 months on the labor movement unlocks restricted child labor, regulatory bodies, and wage subsidies in welfare. We'll go ahead and give that a try, see if we might be able to pass one of those through. But now it is almost time, the 9th of July, for universal suffrage, a 1 in 5 chance. Yeah, so looking at this, it looks like the sulfur price has climbed, so sulfur mines may be the next thing we do after this railway. We're barely breaking even, thanks to the investment pool. Opposition members put forth demands. So if we acquiesce to their demands, there's a 15% success chance, but the intelligentsia loses group approval, which I think is fine. The intelligentsia are, at plus 20, so we can acquiesce. The bill must pass. 15% boost for 34.7, so we go from a 1 in 5 to a 1 in 3 next time around, hopefully before the next vote, which looks to be coming up in 1878. So yes, indeed, 1875 the next tick, 1878 the next election, and that is going to flip things on their head. But that will do it for me, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for another Victoria 3 video. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next Victoria 3 video. Take care.